What's good? Welcome back to another episode of Where the Money At, because we trying to figure out where this shit at. So today we're gonna go over a good bit of crypto. We're gonna focus on that. We're gonna talk a little bit about just general thoughts about the general economy and the world reserve currency or whatever, and then we're gonna get into some quick thoughts and maybe some examples about real estate. So let's get right into it. Let me share this screen. So first of all, as far as the general price action, as far as cryptocurrency goes, we're sitting at about 29,000. We dropped from 30,000. Ethereum dropped below 2 grand. But it's not about the daily, day-to-day price action. It's about your plan, when you plan to entry, when you plan to enter, when you plan to exit, what strategies you want to use, if you want to buy and hold, if you want to yield farm, if you want to try to stake. And trust me, none of this is financial advice, but you have to have your own plan going into this. Therefore, unless you're a trader, the day-to-day price action really shouldn't matter. But let's get into it. And I like looking at it from this perspective. I draw these lines out of nowhere. Just these are the general ranges I believe we're going to be in. Like, let's say between 15 grand BTC and 47 grand. I don't believe we're going to go higher than that unless it's the start of the next bull run to the next new all-time highs. So what are we talking about today? What are we talking about with crypto? We're talking about the big what if. So this is a new asset class. It's only been around since 2011. I think it formulated around 2008. So less than 20 years old. So let's just say this asset class only has a 40-year runway. That's it. It'll only survive 40 years, and then someone else will come and take what Bitcoin tried to do and make it better. But let's not get that far. Let's just say for the next 10 years, it still exists. And within the next 10 years, it has another bull run to all-time highs. And let's say it reaches 250,000, and we're currently at 30,000. So let's say we forget about this asset class and move on to something else, another way to make money, different assets, whatever. And within 5 years, Bitcoin touches 250,000. Would you be okay with that? Me personally, I wouldn't be. I would be very disappointed in myself, and I eat myself up about it. So basically, off of that possibility, not overextending myself to invest in this asset class, I want to make sure that if it does touch 250K, a million, or it just exists for the next 10 years and has another all-time high, I would like to participate in that. So that's just a general idea of why I continue to keep looking into Bitcoin and researching cryptocurrencies and keeping up with the news and figuring out what these countries want to do and how they want to regulate it and how I can put myself in the best position to make some money. The next thing we want to talk about, everybody who comes to this channel, and to be honest with you, if you look at the top coins, you start to see that it doesn't make sense for a Dogecoin to be number 8. Lido staked Ether. If you look at it, a lot of it doesn't make sense. But what I want you guys to do is keep calm in crypto. If you check the price action every day, you may not be in the mental space where you need to be about this asset class just yet. If you check your portfolio every day and you're still extremely emotional about your portfolio, you may not be where you need to be mentally yet, because where you need to be mentally with this is you should be indifferent whether the price goes up or down. It's just about executing your plan. Because if you're checking your portfolio every day and it goes up 2% and you get excited and it goes down 4% and you get worried, that's going to weigh on your mental and it's not going to bode you well in this space. So if you find yourself saying, this has to be it, or it has to go up from here, that's not a good spot. And that's the talking points of someone who's about to lose money, not financial advice. If you're not okay with losing 100% of everything you have inside of crypto right now, and you be okay walking away with 100% losses, you're not where you need to be, because once you invest something into crypto or basically into any asset, it's already gone. It's already gone. If you put $100 into crypto today, take that $100 loss, because you're not going to recoup it till later, to some years later. And this asset class could go away completely. Is it likely? I don't believe it is. There's too much money to be made from the transactions that this asset class produces. But, if you're not okay with losing 100%, if this asset class goes away tomorrow, I'm talking about no crash to zero. I'm talking about you just look up and everything cryptocurrency related is gone, including your money you got invested in it, and you're not okay with it, you still need some time in this space. And that it just takes time. It just takes time. You got to be in this space, make some money, lose some money, and get those lessons to build that shell to become tough to where, I don't care what happens. If it go up, if it go down, I don't care. If you're all in on a single project, I'm gonna do a whole video about this later. But if you're all in on a single project, if this coin, if this coin has to do it for you, if this is the one, there's no problem with researching a coin and believing in it very well. If you're all in on Shiba Inu, there is no problem with doing your research about this coin, understanding the community, looking at the tokenomics, looking at the investing schedules, the drops, and being excited about it. That's not a problem. But if you're all in and constantly watching videos and content creators who make content about one particular coin 24/7, banking on fear, banking on that cult community identity, that's not where you need to be. But it's all good, and that's how this space goes. And to be honest with you, I listen to some people who have completely separate ideals from me inside of crypto, but I like listening to devil's advocates and getting different perspectives. But all in on one thing, that's not a good idea. So really quickly, that's it for crypto. I just want it's about the mindset for crypto. It's not about one particular project. We will go into projects. I did that video on how to break down how I research cryptocurrency projects, but it's about how you think about it. And I think your mental is the best way to stay calm and make the best decisions in this space, not financial advice. The general economy. One thing I keep hearing is the banking system is failing. The banking system is collapsing. When you say it's failing and it's collapsing for who? Because everybody who this system is meant to benefit is still winning. Trust me. The everyday normal people like me and you, we're the ones that's going to suffer if anything crazy like that happens. And people talking about the Fed doesn't have control and the Fed's out of control. Everybody you see get on that podium and talk at the Fed in Washington or whatever, they paid. They old and rich. So if people keep talking about they ain't got control and they're worried and Jerome Powell, man, bro, I ain't trying to hear none of that. I'm worried. my 4 stocks in Apple, I don't have 4 stocks in Apple, but my 4 stocks in Apple is what I'm worried about. Not Gary Gensler acting like we trying to act like Gary Gensler ain't got control of what he doing. Like just stop that and cut that out. But as far as the world reserve currency, a big talking point is the world reserve, like the US dollar is no longer going to be the world reserve currency. And yada, yada, yada. I'm like, yes, that has happened. If I just pulled up this random, I typed in world reserve currencies by year. France held it. France held it for 95 years. Then Great Britain held it for 105 years. And now we've been holding it since, I guess, 1921, based off of what information you look. I just Googled how long has it been. They say 60 years. The point is, people are averaging 100 years. So let's just, if we're going by past history, which I try to do with other assets, I'm basing my next moves off Bitcoin, off of the past cycle's history. Looking at the current factors, we got at least another 40 years. It may not switch in our lifetime. Like people do trades based off of the US dollar. Other countries do trades in oil and commodities based off the US dollar. That's not going to change overnight. And if it do, you think they're going to run the Bitcoin? Like y'all need to cut it out and get some real rationale about this shit. It's not going to happen like that. I know it's a big talking point. I know it's cool to, talk about it in a group, but like, let's be real. And even if it did, even if the world reserve currency was no longer the US dollar, how would you profit? What's your plan? Tell me. Comment your plan to how you would get rich off of that. Because most everyday ordinary people who don't have jobs in economics, who didn't get degrees in economics or stuff like that, they don't know what to do. You wouldn't even know how to capitalize off that. So I'm saying all that to say, let's keep some rationale about this stuff and focus on the real stuff we need to be focusing on. Like focus on how you can best implement what you have to make money. Like investing is cyclical. Like you take money, you take cash and you put it into Bitcoin. Then you make money from Bitcoin and you turn it back into cash to put it into stocks or real estate. Or you take cash and buy real estate and you let that real estate appreciate, sell it, or make monthly revenue to turn it back into cash to put into stocks and 401ks and ERAs and spend stuff like that. Like this is cyclical. You got to have your plan. Don't worry about all this stuff that they want you to pay attention to. Like it's nonsense. It doesn't make sense at all. So that's just some talk about the general economy. So let's get into real estate really quickly. So I just went to Zillow, put in Houston, Texas. And what I want to talk about is home affordability. Look, I'm pushing 30. I'm getting to that age where I'm looking for a house. So let's see, 2 bed, 2 bath. And let's just look at some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Take manufactured off. Home affordability is through the roof. It doesn't make sense. So I just took Houston. I don't live in Houston, but let's just take Houston and go from lowest to high. What's affordable? Because most people in my age bracket and my friends who I know who are buying homes and have recently bought homes, they feel some type of way about it. Now I'm not saying okay, so they got some cheap condos in Houston. You know what I'm saying? We need to check the area, see where they at. They all seem to be around the same place, but is what it is. So of course, the cheapest properties are going to be in the rougher areas. But everybody who's buying a home feels some type of way about it. Like they either have a little bit of buyer's remorse, and they're all grateful to be homeowners, but now their new budget is very tight. And I'm not saying they're house poor, but they got to be very conscious and very tight because any home you buy, especially in Texas, in my area, is through the roof. So let's just look through some properties. Okay, you got a townhouse in Houston for 75 grand. They got some condos, some townhomes, 85. But let's just say you want to get around that 100 grand area. What are we looking at? What do you have available? And everybody does this. We're just looking through these to see what there is available. This is the first time I've checked Houston, and actually Houston actually has some somewhat affordable places. We just don't know what areas they're in. It looks like it's focusing on the center of the city, which is the inner city. But there is a switch. Like people from the suburbs are moving to the inner city, and people from the inner city move to the suburbs. So we're gonna see how that turns out. Maybe a investing opportunity, not financial advice. But as far as I see, Houston look like it still got some affordable places, and you don't see that too often. But you're gonna have to understand which area you're in and school zones and what you want to do with this property. Do you want to live in it? Do you want to Airbnb it? Do you want to rent it out? And you know what I'm saying? When you get to the houses, all these were condos. When you get to the houses, now you're getting into boarded up houses and stuff like that that are under 150. This look like it got a little roof damage on it. But point is, home affordability is through the roof, and you got to figure out your plan of how you want to finesse that and manage that. So that's what we talked about today. I know it's been a while since the last video. Trust me, I've been moving around and I got my life stuff going on too. And I know y'all do too, but I'm gonna try to be as consistent as possible and keep it coming. So I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna get to the next episode. Let's go.